Washington loses to the Seattle Seahawks 20-15, but remain on top in the NFC East. Welcome to the Sideline Report. I'm Marvin Jackson. Joining me tonight are Donna Hopkins and Lou Holder. And we also have some special guests tonight, starting with someone that you all know from the Washington area media, the one, the only, Chick Hernandez.
The only.
Hey, look, you only want to make one. You don't want to make more than one.
You don't want to make any more, do you, Chick?
No, not at all.
I like that one. Hey, look, Chick, let's talk a little bit about Washington and where they're sitting right now, especially after that Seattle game. They played a pretty good game coming back there, but it started off slow. And talk about this team, the defense, and the quarterback situation with Haskins.
I mean, do you want to go there with Haskins?
We want to go there.
Okay. So as we speak here, obviously he's had some issues. I will say this. He is, during the game, I said the jury is no longer out on him after the first three quarters. And I thought he doesn't have it. Then they went up-tempo, and that was better off for him. The problem is that since that game, this young man was now, I think it's verified that he was, at an establishment, as we say. We used to call it the ballet back in the day, where he's with some friends, air quotes, and he is not wearing a mask, okay? So, I mean, you're 23 years old. And I asked the panel here, those who have children, I've got a 22-year-old, I got a 21-year-old, I got a 19-year-old. If I'm online and I see my 22-year-old in an establishment without a mask, around people that don't have masks, he committed no crime, okay? But we're in a pandemic. And as we all know, the NFL, in order to exist and continue right now, they have to be diligent about what their staff are doing, the people in the building, and the players. This guy, after a game in which he lost, not himself personally, but his team lost, is out there doing this. And I've had enough. I've had enough with Dwayne Haskins. I wanted to give him every benefit of the doubt. I was in his corner. I said, just give the kid some time. But he's 23 freaking years old, and he does that. And what he does is he puts his entire team in peril, in harm's way. And I don't know what else to say to the young man other than you screwed up. And for me, if I'm Ron Rivera, a guy who's battling cancer, whose system is, in peril itself, sorry, son, don't come to the building. You've had enough. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to put it on all youth because not all young people are that stupid. He's stupid in what he did, and it's not the first time. And he has the opportunity to play in the National Football League, and he has blown it, not with his physical talent. He's blown it in other ways, and in the most serious fashion, he's put other people in harm's way. And I can't excuse it. I don't think the team should excuse it. And I'm sorry, but bench him, do whatever you got to do. I've seen the last of Dwayne Haskins in the Birdie and Gold.
Hey, Chick, you know what? I don't even know where to start with this because that is just immature and reckless behavior. Not only thinking about yourself, but like you said, Coach Rivera, who's still overcoming cancer, and you're on the blink of possibly making the playoffs. And now you put your team in this situation. I mean, like you said, they've given him chance after chance. And he earlier, he had the NFL protocol as far as for the COVID. They already dinged him right there. And like you said, at this stage, you're finished for the season. And who knows if you're finished being a Washington football team member. But to do what he did and not even thinking, like you said, I'm not even going to put that on youth because you're 23 years old.
Sure.
You're not you don't have a pacifier in your mouth anymore.
Thank you.
So you can't make those excuses for him. And like you said, I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I even said when I saw it, first thing I was like, no, I don't think that's true. I think they may have photoshopped that, but I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because I said, no way would he go out and do something crazy like that. And it was proven wrong, and there's no excuse for this.
And Donna, and I'll say this, he has ruined his career with the burgundy and gold. And if you're another football team looking at him, because you're going to look at tape on him, some guys will say, you know what, he's got some physical skills. But nobody wants to touch an imbecile. Nobody does. It just, you're going to bring, stuff into your own organization that you just don't want. No player, I'm going to tell you right now, there's no player on that team right now who feels comfortable with this kid in the huddle, and certainly not in the locker room, because they're all trying to accomplish something. And as you said, they are in the precipice of making the playoffs, of winning the division, of playing in a playoff game, and you do this. You won't be the starter because Alex Smith, I think, is coming back, but you're supposed to be the viable backup. You've done it. I mean, we were told when Ron Rivera was brought on a culture change. Well, most of us, all of us, have covered this team for the better part of 2 decades. The culture, as much as it's changed, it remains the same.
The thing is, when you were taking selfies with fans and the game was still going on, that to me was a mistake, right? That's the one that I was like, okay, he's youthful and everything. This is way past the mistake. You now have a C on your chest as a captain, and you do that. So, I mean, you're right, Chick, on so many levels. But I want to switch gears. This is the Sideline Report. I want to switch to another sideline, or more like the Lynx, a sport that you and I love, and an event that you hosted that I had a chance to watch. First ever of its kind on the National Mall in West Potomac Park. This long drive contest that aired on NBC that you were the host of. What a great experience, even in this pandemic times, to have Lawrence Ham and Events DC do such a magnificent job of having an event that we know is going to get legs. But could you talk about that experience and what it was like just being in that environment with those long ball hitters?
I'll tell you, and you know my love for the game. I just walked off the course about 2 hours ago. The Capital Long Drive Classic, it's the inaugural one, and you mentioned Lawrence Ham and Justin Harrison from My Brothers Birdies put this on. And already, once people started even seeing the promos, people across the country have reached out to Justin Harrison about what a good idea to put the men and women together, let them play, and then play together, hit balls together. It was, it was in October. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but on West Potomac Park, on a grid that is 400 plus yards with no roll, basically. But I was with them for 2 days, the 4 ladies and the 4 men, and it was spectacular. And I'll tell you right now, the best part wasn't the long drive competition. It was sitting down. They brought in a bunch of area DC kids, and we had a conversation about what the sport can do, what long drive can do to bring, kids who are underrepresented in the sport.
Right.
And to hear both white and black golfers talk about, what they can do and what needs to be done, and sure, they're kids. Some of the kids are like, all right, it's golf, whatever. But there were a few in there that, and I opened it up to the Golf Channel surprise. I opened it up to questions afterwards to the children. They had better questions than I did, quite frankly, and came from an angle that, all of a sudden, even the golfers are like, oh, all right, let's address this. So, I mean, it was a home run. It was a long drive. It was a win for everybody. But I think this thing is going to blow up. And it happened during a pandemic, and the long drive tour had been shut down. And then here comes, like I said, 4 from each gender to come in and play, hit balls. It was just a tremendous experience. It just aired on Golf Channel. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. And because of the pandemic, you guys in the business, I mean, we did this stuff on site, and then I sat right here with Troy Mullins, my co-host, who's another long drive champ, who's a rising star in media and in golf. And she sat in LA and I sat here, and we did voiceover on the program. And I watched it, on the air like everybody else did. I watched it and was like, oh my gosh, This turned out really cool. This is really cool. It was a great experience. I'm happy to be on the ground floor of it. I told Justin, I want to be a part of it for as long as it takes place. It was just a really cool event that hit what it had to hit. And that's the bottom line, was to talk to these kids. And I think hopefully area folks, a lot of sponsors behind it, got behind it. It was, and we had a DJ out there. It was all good.
And Chick, you and I can hit the ball pretty far, but to see these guys like blasted 300, 350, I mean, that was a sight to see.
Shasta Averyhart, one of the female competitors, I think she missed the grid twice, and she hit somewhere around 18 balls, and she missed the grid twice. She was like a robot. Alexis Belton from Louisiana hit it 291, 302.
Woo!
I'll never reach that distance. I don't care if it's downwind, downhill. I'm not going to.
Donna can reach that distance, though.
I'm listening. Hey, Chick, I'm listening to you all. Y'all gonna make me pull out my clubs again.
Feel free. I want to see you against them. I think they should have a celebrity competition as well. That might make sense. It'll be a little embarrassing for a lot of us. But it was great.
Right. Well, Chick,
they hit the ball a ton. It was awesome.
Chick, we're out of time, but I did want to ask you, and that's great what you're doing. But I did want to just ask you, you got a couple seconds. Will Washington make the playoffs?
Washington will make the playoffs because Alex Smith is going to come back.
Real good.
He's a consummate pro. They'll make the playoffs, and they're a very dangerous team because of that defense, which is the greatest second half defense in the league. So they're going to scare some people. But
well, thanks so much, man.
Hold on, let me finish, Marv. Hold on.
We appreciate it.
It's DC football. Something's going to happen that you leave your head going, what happened? That's what's going to happen. I appreciate it, Marv.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and come back sometime again, man.
I'm always available. I'm looking for something.
One and only.
I'm there. Appreciate y'all.
All right. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with another special guest, and we're going to talk about Washington football. We'll talk about Haskins again and Ohio State football. So I wonder who that is. Stay with us. We'll be right back.